How is everyone today? I don't know why isn't this screen so clear. Yeah, it's not so clear, guys. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below if the video is clear, if you can see us. I'm gonna give it 30 more seconds and then we are gonna start the video. So as you come online, please guys, let me know where you are watching me from, where you are watching us from. And yeah, so we're gonna give it 15 more seconds and then we shall start. Let us know where you are watching us from. And yep. Hi, I can see somebody has joined us. Please give the video a like. Hey, Emmanuel, watching from Scotland. Welcome to the live. It's a pleasure to have you here. Please give the video a thumbs up as you come online. It goes a long way. Okay. I can see there is 7 of us online currently. Thank you so much for getting onto the channel. As you can see from today's video, we are 2 of us here. Hi, Michael. How are you? Please give, there's 5 of you guys online, but I only see 1 like. Guys, okay, give me a thumbs down if you're not happy with the video. So today I want to introduce somebody so special. Some of you have probably seen her on the channel before. She shared with us her experience some time back at the UK embassy.
Was it UK or
Was
US?
it UK or US embassy? I don't remember. If you haven't watched that video, you need to go and watch that video. And today we are back here with another video. And today, fortunately, we are not talking about denied visas. We are talking about visas that have been issued. So congratulations, my sister.
Thank you very much.
This is my sister, those who haven't met her before. She is Dora. She has a YouTube channel as well. I will link it in the first comment below. So please make sure to check out her channel. She has some amazing stuff there. And so she is currently, she got her US, okay, she's actually had her US visa. Those who have watched that video, you know she's had a US visa for a very long time. It's how many years now?
Going to 3 years.
3 years, guys. Can you believe it? Like the way people are struggling to get visas for the US. Somebody has a US visa for 3 years. Namekalia too.
Please blame it on COVID.
No
and
way.
Other issues.
Anyhow, guys, 14 of you online, only 1 like. Please let me know where you are watching me from. Let me know where you are watching me from, and please give the video a like. Anyway, as we have seen from the title, today we are demystifying international travel. So this girl here, most of you probably already know this. We lost our mom 3 months ago, and we have just been trying to see how to cope, how we know best. It hasn't been easy, especially for her and for me as well. So we decided it's probably time she gets out of this environment, because one thing I have noticed when it comes to grieving, sometimes when you have so much of what is familiar, it becomes really difficult to move on. So she decided she was just going to go to a place where nobody knows her, where she has never been. And fortunately for her, that place is the US. So and it didn't occur to me. So I have traveled a lot. Most of you know that I have been to almost slightly more than 100 countries up to now. And some things have become so obvious to me that I didn't realize people actually struggle with them. So, and people here is hence the topic. So she's been asking me so many questions, this or that. And I was like, you know what? I am not going to give you information, hivo. If you want help from me, you're going to have to create content around what I'm helping, because I don't want to repeat this process again. So there are those things that, because you keep doing them all the time, you don't realize that not everyone has been through them. So my sister, can you tell people, where have you been to?
Thanks so much for joining us. As you've heard, my name is Dora, Eva's little sister, and I'm currently on my way to the US finally after having the visa for like 3 years. And 2 years were eaten up by COVID, and finally I decided now I need a breather out of the country. What did you ask again?
Ambia watu umeenda wapi na wapi? Where have you gone?
I've been to Thailand, I've been to Abu Dhabi. At least I've been out of Kenya. I've been to Entebbe, Uganda. I've been to Rwanda. Where else? I'm widely traveled.
Anyway, you
Yeah.
guys, so the point is, I don't know why I always assume this girl has really traveled.
No, I've been to Thailand.
But why are you acting like somebody who has never gone out of
Why are you saying that?
CBD? So anyhow, she's been asking me so many questions. Paka was like, hey, this is too much. So I was like, you know what? I'm not even able to answer your question. I just want to come down to your house because kumefika a place. I just have to now come down to get face to face. So we are here now. Ask away. So there are some questions she's been asking me, and those are the ones I'm gonna address because if she's asking those questions and I thought she was so traveled, I'm 4 countries is not well traveled, guys. Let me know in the comment section below. Do you consider 4 countries well traveled?
Yeah,
Let us-
traveled. I've
do you-
traveled
do you-
out of JKIA so many times.
Do you guys consider 4 countries a lot of travel? Because the question she's been asking, Paka me, I'm like, anyway. So let's start with booking the flight. So the first place we started the moment we decided, okay, she needs to travel. So the first place where we started this journey was finding a ticket. And we started with 2 main websites. We started with skyscanner.com and Expedia.
Expedia.
So we ended up booking with Expedia. So usually we were looking at Skyscanner, just comparing the different flights, and her final destination was Seattle, Washington. But if we're gonna fly direct from Nairobi to Seattle, it was gonna be so expensive. Like I think it was coming to 2,000, almost $3,000 US.
Yeah.
So we decided we're gonna break this trip. So guys, that's tip number 1. When you are traveling internationally, sometimes you don't have to like book your ticket all the way. You can break your trip. So she's gonna, she booked Nairobi, New York, and then New York, Seattle. And the reason is, I've already mentioned, is because of it was very expensive to get like a direct flight. Okay, there's actually no direct flight from Nairobi to Seattle, but it was easier to break that trip. So because of that, so she got Brussels Airlines, which is basically Lufthansa, which means she's flying through Frankfurt. And that means she's gonna be moving through different time zones. And that's one thing I want to cover. So, so right here, so can you ask me those questions you're asking so that we can help people?
Okay, my first question is I have this my first stopover is I mean the first part of my trip is Nairobi JKIA to Frankfurt, Germany, and from the itinerary I see I should be leaving here at around 11 p.m.
Guys, let's just look at that. Busema, you see
I
that?
should be leaving at 11 p.m. and getting to Frankfurt at 5:30 a.m. From my little calculation, I don't think it's 8 hours, 30 minutes. Kindly explain to me, break it down to me.
So you guys, you had a question. So from her itinerary, the one we have just looked at, it shows that the flight is leaving JKIA at 11 p.m. and it arrives Frankfurt at 5:30 a.m. And there's this something here. You can see right here, it shows, come on, focus. Yeah, it shows that it arrives 5. So when you see 11 p.m. to 5:30 a.m. plus 1, that basically means the flight arrives the next day. So if you are looking at an itinerary, so that's how you know. So whatever time it leaves, that's what you'd have at the beginning. Like in this case, we have 11 p.m. and then it moves until 5:30 a.m. plus 1. So that basically means you arrive the next day. Now, you asked a very valid question. Between 11 p.m. and 5:30 a.m., that's exactly 11 and a half, I think.
That's around.
Those who did math, how many hours are those?
11,
12 and a half.
12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Those are 6.5 hours.
No, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, yes. Yeah. So that comes to
6 hours.
6.5 hours. But that's according to, by the way, we all did our bachelor's in accounting. So, anyway, but if you look here, it shows the flight duration is 8.5 hours. So that's a question she's been asking. If by doing the math, it shows that it is, sorry guys, let me show what we are using as our stand.
No,
please guys, that's the stand. Please give the video a like, share, so that we can afford, Dora can afford a stand up in her house. You guys, you know me, I have a stand. Anyway, so you can see that one. So the flight ticket says 8.5 hours. However, 11 p.m. to 5:30, when you do the math, it shows that that's 6.5 hours. So that's basically what that means, is because when you leave Nairobi, let's even just do the math right now. Current local time in, so right now, Nairobi time is 16:30 p.m., which is 4:30. Let's look current local time in Frankfurt. Frankfurt is in Germany, in Frankfurt. Yeah, so you can see right now, the current local time in Frankfurt is 14:31, while the current time in Nairobi is 16:31. So clearly, Frankfurt is 2 hours behind Nairobi. So essentially what is happening here is that by the time you get to Frankfurt, you're gonna arrive 5:30 a.m. However, in Nairobi, it's gonna be 7:30 a.m. Yeah, because of time zone. So what is happening when you get to Frankfurt, you're gonna gain time because Frankfurt is behind Nairobi
by 2 hours.
Yes. So is that clear why the time? So that's why you have 6.5 hours between 11 p.m. and 5:30 a.m. And then those 2 hours which you lose, when you add to 6.5, it comes to 8.5 hours, which is the flight duration. Okay. So guys, I hope I'm clear how that works. So that's why when you look at a flight ticket, if you just calculate the time, it won't math because of time zone. So that's one of the things you have to be careful about. When you're doing international travel, most probably you're gonna be having those time zone differences. So according to this itinerary, Dora arrives 5:30 a.m. plus 1, which means the next day. So that's basically what that itinerary means. And then you will notice the itinerary even explains to you that this is an overnight, yeah? So overnight, it arrives on Friday, December 16. So it shows you that it is an overnight flight. I hope we are clear on that page.
We are clear up to that point.
Okay. Now, let's move to the next part, the next leg of the journey. So here, guys, is the next leg of the journey. It says, Brussels Airline leaves at 11 a.m. and it arrives New York at 1:55 p.m. The flight duration is 8 hours and 50 minutes. Now, if you look at the same issue again, you can see from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. That's how many hours? 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11,
Those
12,
are 2 hours.
1.
These are 2 hours.
So it shows 11 a.m. actually. Oh my God, guys. Actually, and this is bachelor's in accounting. You can see 11 a.m. to 1:55 p.m. That's exactly 11, 12, 1.
3 hours.
Almost 3 hours, right? But the flight duration it shows is 8 hours, 50 minutes. Same story. If you look at the current local time in New York, let's look at the current local time in New York.
I haven't had to download all this time.
So guys, I know some of you probably think like this is a waste of time, Eva. Why are you showing us these things? We don't even have tickets. We don't have, guys, this is step number 1 of manifestation. The moment you start understanding itineraries, that is the first step in manifestation. So if you agree with me, please let me know in the comment section below, say manifesting international travel 2023. Please put that in the comment section below. So the current local time in New York is 8:34 p.m. Sorry, a.m. 8:34 a.m. in New York, and Frankfurt is 14:34 a.m. So that means New York is 6 hours behind Frankfurt. So if you add the 6 hours behind Frankfurt to these 2 hours and 50 minutes, it comes to the math. You get the math of 8 hours and 50 minutes.
Okay.
So that means by the time you get to New York from Frankfurt, you're gonna gain 6 hours because you're gonna be 6 hours behind time. Okay? So that's why we have that. So I hope that is clear.
I have
Now-
another question. Sorry. This 1:55 p.m., is it the Nairobi time or the New York time?
Okay, great question. All right. So Dora is looking at the time here. It shows 11 a.m. This is Frankfurt, Germany to New York. It shows Friday 11:05 a.m. to 1:55 p.m. And she's asking which time is this. So basically, when you are reading an itinerary, the starting time, which is 11:05 a.m., is your destination of origin. Yeah? So this is Frankfurt. And then we have 1:55 p.m. This is your arrival destination. Guys, I hope that is clear. So that will be New York. If we look at the other itinerary, it shows here December 15, 11 p.m., 5:30 a.m. +1. And the flight is from Nairobi to New York. So the starting time is Nairobi time. Sorry, Nairobi to Frankfurt. Yeah, Nairobi to Frankfurt. So the starting time, 11 p.m., this is Nairobi time. And 5:30 a.m., this is Frankfurt time. So the starting time is where you're beginning your trip from. 5:30 a.m. is where you're concluding your destination. Which is Frankfurt, Germany. And then +1, it means the next day. Guys, I hope I am clear. And sorry about those nails, guys. Again, please watch all the videos, plus watch all the advertisements, plus subscribe to the membership, plus give me super chat so that I can fix my nails. Like, these are the nails I had from Canada, guys. Oh my God. Anyway, now something else on the itinerary. We have here something called layover. So you can see here we have a layover of 5 hours, 35 minutes. So that basically means from the first leg of the trip, which is Nairobi, Frankfurt, to when she gets on the Frankfurt, New York time, you're gonna have 5 hours. So you're literally gonna get to Frankfurt and you're gonna get out of the aircraft. And you have 5 hours, 35 minutes in Frankfurt before you get on your next flight. So basically what happens here, and this is a mistake a lot of travelers do. So when you look at your itinerary, it shows 5 hours, 35 minutes, and it looks like it's a lot of time. Trust me, it is not a lot of time. And especially for Frankfurt, it is a very busy airport. So the moment you get on the flight and you arrive at your destinations, please do not be like those people. The flight has not even stopped and you're already standing, opening the overhead lockers. Please.
Like those
Please,
people
nobody
heading
is
to
running
Kisumu.
No, those people on SGR, no. Hizo sio watu wa ndege. Hizo matabia mtaacha hapa Kenya. So when you get on the flight, wait, you will hear even the hostess will announce, welcome to Frankfurt. Please stay seated until the
seatbelt
sign has been switched off and the aircraft has come to a complete stand.
I have a question.
Okay.
Will those, by the time I'm waiting for the cabin crew to announce that we wait, will they not be eating into my layover time?
Yes, of course, they'll be eating into your layover time. And that is why the moment you get out of the aircraft in any airline, any airport, the moment you get out of an aircraft, the first thing you want to look for is, the first thing, either if it is your final destination, you want to look for baggage control. Yeah, because if you find, so all airports actually have labels, and they're going to show you this is baggage or connecting flights. So if you are on transit, like in your case, you're transiting through Germany onward to New York, you're going to have to look for a sign showing connecting flights. If Frankfurt was your final destination, you're going to look for a sign that says baggage. Yeah. So the first thing you want to do if you are on a connecting flight is to look for that sign. The moment you get out of the aircraft, you look for connecting flights. And there are two main reasons why. When most airports, and I know Frankfurt is one of them, when you get to Frankfurt, you still have to go through security. And the lines are humongous. Like you can queue. I remember the last time we queued for almost 3 hours.
What happens when you run out of time?
You just have to run there. That's what I was saying. The moment you get off the aircraft, run to the connecting flights section.
Okay.
Because you're gonna have to go through security. Most airports, by the time you leave, especially the ones that originate from Africa, there's no you're gonna go to the US or Canada or wherever, like direct, you're gonna have to go through security again. So make sure you go to that connecting flights area. And like in Frankfurt, you're gonna have to go through security. Some airports, you don't have to go through security, but just go through the connecting flights section. And the moment you clear from, if like in this case, it's security, the moment you get out of the aircraft to the connecting flights section, you're gonna meet a screen. Okay, so in that screen, they're gonna be showing the different flights. So you want to make sure that you look for this particular flight, and you can see here, it even has a name. What's the number? Brussels Airlines 7230. So guys, when you get to from the aircraft to the connecting flight section, there is a screen, and that screen usually shows the date. It shows the airline. It shows the terminal. Remember, not all airports have one terminal. Some airports have so many terminals, and these terminals, some of them you use trains to connect, like you cannot walk. So you have to go to the screen immediately and check for your flight. Sometimes you will not see your flight.
What do you do in such a
So when you don't see your flight, most probably it's maybe you still have like 10 hours, because the screens are this small, they're like a TV screen. So, and they keep rolling. And there's so many flights that are leaving. So if you cannot see your flight, it either means your time has not yet reached, or you're in the wrong terminal. So because there are so many flights, sometimes they're not gonna show. They will show only flights for that particular terminal. This is very common, like in Dubai. You will see only flights leaving from Terminal 1 in Terminal 1, and you only see flights leaving from Terminal 2 in Terminal 2, and like that. But most airports, you will be able to see all the flights. So you need to find out what time is your flight leaving and which gate. Very important. So when you leave Nairobi, you're gonna get 2 boarding passes. They're gonna give you the Nairobi, Frankfurt, and Frankfurt, New York. However, and they're gonna have gates on them. However, sometimes they might not have gates on them. However, when you get to Frankfurt, it is very common for gates to change. And that's why, even when you get on that screen, the first thing you want to check is your gate.
Okay.
Because again, the gates, like in Frankfurt, they have different, what can I call them? Like the gates are on different floors. They have like from gate Series A to Series Z. So you'll find like Series Z, they turn right, A, they go down, C, they go up. So you have to really know where is your gate. So that's where you start from. Something I forgot to mention. When you are leaving from Nairobi, make sure you have your printed itinerary. Okay? For 2 main reasons. Soja mwenyewe atakukubalia hata ufikie. The soldier. If there's anybody with power in Kenya, the soldier wa airport. They will not even allow you to enter them without your itinerary. So please carry your itinerary. That's number 1, your printed copy. Another, it's very common for most people to use their phones. Unaweza fika huko simu ikufe. Not all aircrafts have USB charging ports. But if you're fortunate and you find an airline that has an aircraft that has a charging port, please charge your phone. And something else, like when you get to Frankfurt, you will find some waiting gates have charging ports, others don't have. But on the walls, they're gonna have the European something. So you can also charge with that. So that's why I still insist when you're traveling, guys, have printed copies. I know it's old school, but it saves you a lot because first of all, the soldier will not let you into JKIA terminal without an itinerary. Number two, when you get to the airline, they want to confirm that you have a return ticket.
Okay.
And if you're flying with an aircraft like Ethiopian Airlines, they will not even allow you to board the plane if you have, let's say you're flying using Ethiopian going and coming back with Lufthansa. They will not accept. Some airlines, I don't know which other, but I know Ethiopian will not accept you. They want you to be flying return with them.
Okay.
Otherwise, they will not even allow you. So that's why you need this. And it also helps you in terms of knowing, it's just
Planning your
easier
time.
sometimes to hold something. I don't know what you mean in there, I don't know, but it's just easier when I can hold a piece of paper. Now, let us move to the next itinerary. So, when you get to New York, remember, you're not an American.
What do you mean?
So that means you have to go through immigration.
Mm-hmm.
So even though your final destination is Seattle,
Mm-hmm.
I doubt if the airline is going to check your bag to Seattle. They're probably going to check it to New York because this is going to be your first port of entry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that means you will have to get out of the aircraft and go all the way and look for the place written baggage claim, because towards baggage claim is where you will meet immigration. So at immigration, again, they're gonna ask you what brings you to America.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, guys, 1 second. Somebody is knocking the door. Let me read your comments meanwhile. Guys, tunakunywa Fanta for the last time. The Fanta in the US doesn't taste as good as this one.
Sorry for that.
Anyway, she's back. Okay, we're talking about New York. So that will be your first port of entry into the US.
Mm-hmm.
So of course you're gonna be asked again, what brings you to the US? I hope you know what brings you to the US. And then it depends on how tired the officer is. They could ask you more questions. They could decide to let it slide. They could ask you, when are you leaving? And that's where your itinerary comes handy. Something else, once you get into the US, so you're just gonna have to go through through immigration. Once they let you in, you go to customs.
Mm-hmm.
So before you get to customs, so between immigration and customs, you're gonna find another screen. But this screen is for baggage. Because remember, JF Kennedy Airport, where you'll be arriving, and most other European and American airports are not as small as JKI. So you're gonna have a lot of aircrafts landing at the same time, baggage being taken out at the same time. So you need to know where to pick your luggage. So guys, make sure when you get out of immigration and going to baggage claim, you're gonna find another screen. And that's why it's important to keep your boarding pass, because your boarding pass has your flight number on it. So you have to go back to those screens and check your flight number and where it originated from and where it landed, so that they're gonna show you where to pick your luggage. So usiende tu huko, you just see, oh, I've seen a black bag, it must be mine. No. First, go to the screens and make sure that you're going to the right. So you'll find they have like, they're like pillars, So they have like pillars, and those pillars are labeled. So like there'll be like an A, a B, C, whatever, B1, B2. So just check on the screen to make sure that you know where to pick your baggage from. Once you have picked your baggage, as you exit, there's gonna be two other exits. One has red labeled on it, the other one has green. Green means you have nothing to declare. Red means you have something to declare. So for example, if you're carrying plants from here.
By plants, do you mean where do groundnuts fall? because I'm carrying groundnuts, for example.
So, yo, I hope umezikaanga. That's what I hope you have kaangaed them, because if you haven't, the tricky kiasi.
Are they plants? They are nuts.
They are grains. Anyway, so if you have nothing to declare, you go on the green. If you have something to declare, you go on the red. And just to warn you, they have dogs there.
Oh.
So those sniffer dogs,
Can they sniff my
Yes.
groundnuts?
the sniffer dogs can come and check what you have. Anyway, so that's basically what happens with the arrival. Now, once you get to the US, comes the time zone issue again. So you will notice again on this itinerary, it shows Seattle to New York. No, wait.
There's another one here.
Yeah, we have here New York to Seattle, and it shows that the flight leaves at 6 p.m. and arrives at 9:24 p.m. That's 3 hours and 24 seconds.
Yeah.
But you see the flight duration is 6 hours and 24 seconds. So basically what that means is just this time zone issue we have talked about. So the time in New York right now is 8:50 a.m. Seattle is currently 5:50 a.m. So that means Seattle is 3
3
hours behind. Oh, by the way, I'm trying to twang. So sorry if you can't understand me, I'm trying to twang.
You're getting
Nimeweza. I want Dora to start learning and you guys, nimeweza ama sijaweza?
Umeweza.
Yeah, I want her to start getting used to, there you say I'm going to Seattle, they're like, huko ni wapi? So you have to like Seattle, Anyway, so Seattle current local time is 5:50 a.m. and New York is 8:50 p.m. And the main reason is because Seattle is 3 hours behind New York. So that's very important as well. So don't think just because you're now in the US, maneno na time zones mentioned. No. So once you get to Seattle, it's 3 hours behind New York.
Mhm.
And remember, you will be flying back to New York.
Mhm.
So same story. Once you get to Seattle or any other state for that matter, you have to keep changing your time. Because I have missed so many flights because of being in one state and then I forgot to change to the local time zone and the flight was leaving and then I didn't realize I was on a different time zone and all that. So once you get to the states also the different states have different time zones. So it's the same story. The original time is for the
Country of origin.
country or state of origin or city of origin, and then the ending time is for the destination. City or province, or like if you're in Canada, it's province. If you're in the US, it's states. If you're in Nairobi, it's county.
Okay.
Anyway, now something I want to mention about your suitcase. Go and bring the suitcase you're traveling with.
The big one or the
The big one. I want to show them something. Actually, bring both of them. You guys, let me know if you're finding this session educative. I don't know. Even if you're not planning to travel soon, remember we are manifesting, and this is one way of manifesting those travels. You have to start imagining. I want by the time you're getting those visas, mumeiva kabisa, like there's nobody who's gonna tell you what, like you'll be so on point, you know what you need to do and you know how to do it. So let me know in the comment section below, are you finding this session educative? No, I wanted a big suitcase. There's something I want to show people. How remember we are demystifying international travel, time zones, itineraries. That's what we are doing. So there's something I want you guys to see. That's why I've asked her to bring. Just let it stand. There's something I want to show them. So guys, you can see here, this is Dora's suitcase. It's yours, you know when you're here in the house, it feels like it's a very special suitcase, and like it's the only one, yeah. But wait until you get to, no, just leave it there. Wait until you get to the airport and you'll realize there's like 100 suitcases, that color, same size, same shape, same everything. So what Dora has done here, you can see, she has put like this blue shoelace here. Yeah, she's put, and then she also wrote my name on it, so that it's just easier to, pick it from the so many suitcases. So that's something you want to do when you are traveling, especially when you're on a connecting flight. Don't just look at, when you're looking at your suitcase in the house, it looks really special and it feels like it's the only one. When you get to the airport, guys, you will be shocked. There's like 100 other suitcases that looks like yours. So that's one hack that I always use. I always put like something like that's basically a blue shoelace. That's something you can do too. So I'm sure some of you have probably seen people in the airport. You're like, hey, kwani huyu ni juju? See your juju. It's just taking care of the luggage so that it's easy to mark and easy to
locate,
yeah. And then something else you will notice, that suitcase is fabric, and the main reason is because this girl, I think she's gonna shop the whole world. So it helps in terms of weight. Remember the maximum you can carry. So like I know Lufthansa has two, you have an allowance for 2 suitcases. However, each suitcase has a maximum of 23 kilograms only. So even that comes to 46 total, but you can't have one suitcase that is 46 kg. Maximum you are allowed to have is 23 kg for each suitcase. So that's why she's carrying a fabric suitcase, so that it helps with the weight. And then what else? What haven't I covered?
What happens in case I'm not able to locate my suitcase?
Oh yes, so in case you are not able to locate your suitcase, so first of all, that's why you need to do you want to tell them your first experience? Tell them what happened when you are going to Thailand.
Okay, 9 years ago, I was on my trip to Bangkok, Thailand, and there is part of the memo I didn't quite get well. I didn't have my carry-on luggage. All my belongings were in one suitcase.
She was feeling sweet at you.
I wanted to travel light. So the problem came in when we had a flight delay, I think from leaving Abu Dhabi. When we got to Bangkok, our suitcases were not there yet, and they came in like 2 days later when we were almost coming back.
Yeah, and tell them, how long was your trip?
My trip was for 4 days, and 2 days were taken traveling. So when my suitcase got there, we were actually on our way back. I was forced to buy clothes in Bangkok. Then when the suitcase came, that was the day we were coming back. So this time I have a small suitcase carrying my like 2 days clothes and the big suitcase that has some of the things. So I think this is something that is worth noting. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're going on a long flight, wachana maneno ati sijui traveling light, sijui what, no. Make sure that you carry a carry-on bag and put in at least 2 to 3 days of clothing. Fortunately for me, I don't carry checked-in baggage usually when I travel. I have learned to travel light with just checked-in baggage. And I told you the secret. One of the ways of doing that is by buying merino clothing. So merino wool clothing is very expensive, but the advantage with merino, you can wear up to even 5 times without washing, and you will not even smell. I actually have one of my friends who's been traveling for the last 13 years, and he just travels the carry-on bag, and he's a digital nomad. He doesn't have a permanent location, and he just travels with the carry-on bag for the last 13 years. So that's one hack you can do. If you have merino clothing, they're quite expensive, but they are worth it, especially if you intend to travel long term. So that is something you can consider, but make sure you have carry-on. And something else Dora forgot to mention. So if case your bag gets lost, the airline is mandated by IATA. IATA is the governing body of airlines to compensate you for anything that you buy while your bag is lost. So what you should have done in that case, when you bought stuff from Bangkok, you should have kept the receipts and lodged a claim with the airline. But usually in every airline, there is a lost baggage section. So in case you arrive to your destination and your baggage has not arrived with you, it's important that you go and lodge a claim immediately. And that's why I also encourage you, when you have packed your suitcase and it's ready, take a picture of your suitcase when it is open, so that, or even a video of the things that are inside, as well as a picture of the suitcase when it is closed. And this is important, especially for the airline to be able to identify how your suitcase looks like, and also in case of claiming for insurance if your baggage never makes it. So that's very important. And then you also want to make sure that when you check in your bag, they're gonna give you a baggage tag. And that tag is usually put either on your boarding pass or on your passport. Please keep that the baggage tag until you see your bag. Because in case you need to lodge any claims, that's what you are gonna use, and that's what they use to track your bag. If you don't have that, it's very difficult for the airline to track your bag. They don't track by colors and what, they use that code. So that's why it's very important that you keep that as well when you travel.
Can you also talk about the things we have to declare? You mentioned the green section and the red section. Kindly expound on that.
So generally, when you so I know like fresh fruit, fresh vegetable, they don't allow you to travel with those into the US, most of Europe and UK. But I personally have previously, I got into Canada with 3 mangoes. But I think it's also based on luck. If you are lucky, they will check your bag. If you are unlucky, they will check your bag. If you are lucky, they will not check. But I know like in the US, they don't allow like plant and fruit and stuff like that. And usually what they do sometimes, like if it's a fruit, they will ask you to eat it. Or sometimes they could fine you like $300 for disposal. So, yeah. But when you get to the airport, they're gonna be they'll write what is allowed and what isn't allowed. So, and then something else, I was telling Dora, water is very expensive in the airport. So please carry an empty water bottle, because, so in the aircraft, yes, they're gonna be giving you water, and I would encourage you to hydrate as much as possible when you are in the aircraft. And I know like the first leg of your flight is 8.5 hours, and the next leg is almost 8 hours and 50 minutes. So there's a tendency to just sit for those 8.5 hours. I would encourage you to keep walking, like you can sleep for a bit and then just walk around in the aircraft for, the blood flow and all that. Keep drinking lots of water for hydration. I know there's a temptation to take wine and coffee and tea and all that, but I encourage you to hydrate. It's gonna help you with the jet lag and all that. And then when you get to Frankfurt, they have water stations, and they just look like sinks, and it's safe for drinking. So instead of having to, in those 5.5 hours layover, if you get thirsty and you need to buy water, it's expensive. So just get a water bottle, and then you can fetch water in the airport. Most airports have, it's only JKI that doesn't have. And I think I don't know what else we can talk about. Guys, ask me questions. Oh, JKIA. This you probably already know. When you get to JKIA, you have to leave the taxi and go through security physically and then come back to the taxi. So, because you're probably gonna be in an Uber or something, because usually the driver remains in the car. If you are going by Uber, I encourage you have a small, like your handbag where you have your passport in it, because Yeah, because yeah, you need your passport. You should be having it all the time. What else haven't we
What should
covered?
I carry on my carry-on bag apart from this itinerary?
So on your carry-on bag, okay, first of all, you're gonna need your COVID certificate. Make sure you have it somewhere, either printed or you have it on your phone. And then make sure you have your return tickets, make sure you have your in-state tickets and all that printed. I usually prefer printed stuff. And then in your carry-on bag, please carry like a blanket, not like a big blanket, like just a small shawl, because in the aircraft they give you those blankets, but it gets really cold, and you're gonna be landing in both Europe and the US, which is winter time now. I think it's minus 10 degrees centigrade or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's very cold. And forget about being smart. I know those who follow me on Facebook, the other day I was attacked on a Facebook group because I traveled to Frankfurt and I was wearing Crocs, and people are like, why are you even dressed like this? So my own personal advice, please don't bother wearing anything that requires a belt, because every time you go through immigration, you're going to have to take out the belt and put it back. So don't bother about belts. Shoes, they're going to keep asking you to take them off and put them back on. So I travel in Crocs all the time. I'm always wearing Crocs. I'm not going to waste my time taking off shoes and putting them back in. And especially when you have a very short window of transit, I don't bother. And on a 9-hour flight, how am I even wearing shoes, So I just have oversized Crocs that I use for travel. And I have winter socks. I freeze in 26 degrees centigrade temperature. So I'm always freezing. I have cold feet, so I always carry winter socks. And those will not fit into my size 6 shoes. So I always use Crocs. So I would encourage you to you can wear Crocs and then you carry your boots in the carry-on, because when you get to New York and to Seattle, you can't walk there in your Crocs. It's gonna be cold. And then you can carry like roll-on, you can carry your face cream, a toothbrush and toothpaste. 16 hours.
They're not given.
No, I don't think so, unless you're flying business class.
Okay.
I don't think.
Because I remember in my trip to Bangkok, I was given that.
Yeah, but you don't want to depend on their
Vanity pack.
Yeah,
I just have
those toothbrushes are usually very bad quality anyway. So and make sure everything you carry, if it's a fluid like perfume or lotion, everything should be less than 100 ml.
Even the lotion. What about the body cream?
Yeah, everything that is liquid or it needs to be not more than 100 ml.
Is
Otherwise,
it 50 or 100?
I think it's 100, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
So that they don't take it away at security. No liquids will be allowed more than 100 ml.
That's for my hand luggage or
yes.
checked in?
No, for your hand luggage. Okay. So you want to make sure you have that. And then you can carry a small towel. You can carry sandals if you want, but the Crocs can play. So for example, I know in Frankfurt they even have showers, but you have to pay, I think it's 6 euros or something, and they have hot showers. In Dubai, the showers are free. So guys, that's something else. Most airports have showers. Sio zote kama JKIA, they have showers. So you can carry like a small towel so that when you get there, and some soap, so that when you get there and you want, like if you have a long layover, I remember like on my last flight, I had, I think 9 hours in Frankfurt. So I went and took a shower. It was like 6 euros, I think. So that is something to ponder. You can so there are things you can carry in your carry-on bag. You can also carry your, what do we call it? Laptop if you're traveling with one. If you're not traveling, that's fine. You can carry your water bottle, put it in there. And of course, we have said clothes for maybe 2 days you can carry. You can carry, what else?
I think that's basically it.
Yeah, that's basically it.
What about snacks? Are we allowed to carry snacks?
Yes, I'm always carrying. Like, Me and aircraft food, sometimes I don't feel like eating it. So for me, I'm always carrying chef Daz. I always carry queen cakes. I carry stuff, fruit. I'm always carrying whatever fruit is in season. If it's mangoes, if it's banana, if it's I'm always carrying something because you just never know, you know. And then something very, very important. Remember when you do your what do you call it? When you do your booking, they ask you for how you want to be contacted. So different. So like Dora's ticket is Nairobi, New York, and then there's New York, Seattle. So for the Nairobi, New York sector, she put her local number and her email address, and then you select, do you want to be contacted with your email address or with your with your phone number. So it's very important when you are putting that information that you put information number that you can actually be reached on. So for the Seattle, New York, most probably your phone number won't be working.
Unless I'll be roaming.
Yeah, which is really expensive. So in that case, you can put your primary means of contact as your email address, or somebody in the US or whatever destination country you are, you're going to be visiting.
Like your host?
Yes, like your host's number, so that in case like there's a delay or a cancellation of the flight, or the flight is earlier, then you get to know. So right now, for example, I know, so that's one way of always keeping track of your airline and just knowing if the gates have changed or the flight is delayed or it's canceled or what. But there's another hack I'm going to show you right now. When you take your phone and just go to Google, just let me show you. If you go to just Google, so right now, let's do it practically. So we have this flight here. Where is it? Where is today's flight? It was LH what?
It's this one.
Where is the flight number?
It's not showing.
So how did we know what it was?
As per the email. That's the email they sent.
What was the flight number?
And it was LH.
So guys, I'm trying to look for the flight number. Where is that? So anyway, so basically what I'm looking for here is we said through that contact email, the airline can get a hold of you in case of cancellation of the flight or anything like that. But I wanted to show you another hack in case, let's say you are a solo traveler and you don't have like a host's phone number. So like in this case, we have the email that was sent to Dora. So you can see here is the email. Here's the flight number. It's Lufthansa. Oh, come on, focus. Okay, so you can see the flight number is LH. Oops.
LH 591.
Yeah, so this is the flight number. You can see here your flight. I don't know why it's refusing to focus. Okay, it has refused to focus. Anyway, let me just show what I want to do. So the flight okay. So the flight number is LH
591.
LH 591, yeah? So what I'm gonna do, just go to Google, yeah? LH 591. That's a flight number. And then it's 591, yeah?
Let me check.
LH 591.
Yeah, LH 591.
591. So if I just go to LH 591, current flight status. Current flight status. So you can see right here, when you go to LH 591 current flight status, you can see it shows you where the flight is leaving from, Nairobi to Frankfurt. It shows you the day, and you can see right here, it shows the flight is delayed from Frankfurt. So it shows and it gives you the details. Incoming flight is delayed, which may be affecting this flight. And then if arrive at gate for originally scheduled departure time. So when you see something like this, before you go to your gate at the scheduled departure time, check your email, because most probably the airline will have sent you a message. So let's just check, Dora, if you have that message. And you can see right here, it now shows that the flight time has been changed. Remember, it was leaving on Thursday, 15th December, but now it's leaving on Friday, and the time has changed. Now, guys, I am so glad that we have come to this situation, because I'm going to explain something. So we have this section here. Estimated departure is now 0020, which is 20 minutes after midnight. And you can see now the day has been changed from Thursday, 15th December to Friday. I don't know, guys, if you're still with me. So you can see right now, just from a Google search, it has shown us this flight is delayed. But if you check your email, Dora, you can see they have sent her an email. She has an email from Lufthansa, and it clearly says that update on your flight from Nairobi, new departure time is 0020 hours. So guys, let's talk about this 00 time. Watu wengi wanaachwa na ndege. So you can see it now showed the departure time has changed from Thursday, 15th December, and now shows Friday, 16th December. That does not mean you go to the airport tomorrow on Friday. Are we together, guys? If your flight is leaving from 00, you go on that same day, but at night. Okay? So it's showing that the flight is on Friday just because it is after midnight. Are we together? So
Yes.
do not miss your flight because you're waiting to go to the airport on Friday. So guys, those are the two ways for you to know the status of your flight. You can go to Google, and it's gonna just Google your flight number and the flight status. It's gonna give you if it's delayed or whatever is happening. And even if the gate has been changed, it's gonna show you that. And then you can also, once you get that, you can also check your email or the phone number you gave the airline. Usually they send you an email. If you had left your phone number, they will send you a message.
Please tell us something about this terminal. and
No,
the gates.
for like here, JKI, forget it. There's only one terminal. But if it was another country, it's very important to know what terminal you are arriving at and what terminal you are departing from, because there's really huge airports out there, and most of them you need to transfer by train, so or by bus. But forget about JKI. There's only one terminal. Musinikujia, please don't come for me in the comment section. Please. I don't want your violence. So guys, remember we said we are talking about international flights, itineraries, flight changes. And we said, even if you don't have visas now, we are manifesting travel in 2023. So we are learning the ropes. So by the time the visas come and the tickets come, then we are in the know. And those who have not watched my last video on the channel, why you need to put moving abroad or living abroad or studying abroad or working abroad as one of your goals and vision board items for next year, then you need to make sure that you do that, because that's what we covered. So guys, I can see we are almost 1 hour into the video. Dora, I don't know if you have any other questions for me. Remember, I told Dora, I don't want to repeat myself. So we're going to do this thing once and for all. And the next time anybody wants to travel, they can just come and refer to this video. Hatutaki mtu embarrass. You know, we don't want embarrassment.
I don't want to be embarrassed.
We don't want to be embarrassed.
Anyway, that's
So-
very nicely covered. I
So
think
are you ready now to go to the airport?
I want to go even now. I'm just worried about the delays. They've
No,
eaten
there's
into
nothing.
my,
There's nothing to worry
into
because.
my 5 hours layover.
But it's the same airline. The only worry you should be having is your flight from New York, which you had, I think, 6 hours difference. I think. I don't know. What time was your flight arriving? That's the one you should be worried. But honestly, I wouldn't be worried.
Okay.
Oh, and then something else I forgot to mention.
Germany,
So I think, in fact, all aircrafts in the US, they don't give you food. Okay? They're not gonna give you food. They're not gonna give you free baggage allowance. Most of the in-country flights. So that means you will have to buy your baggage separately
6 people.
from you need to buy your baggage separately from
the
from the
fare?
ticket. So that's one thing you need to note. Like in her case, she's like breaking her flight. So that means when she gets to New York, she's gonna be on a different flight route, I think. And she's gonna have to, what do we call it? Pay separately for the baggage.
Checked in baggage, yeah.
Yes. So that's something else you want to check when you are doing flights within the US. Most of them, actually, I think all of them, you have to pay separately for your baggage. So, and also for food, they won't give you food. Fortunately for you, Americans love eating so much. In fact, that's one common thing you're gonna notice. Everyone will be eating. It doesn't matter what time of the night it is. Every single person you meet will be eating at the airport.
Okay, my
So-
question is,
Uh-huh.
sorry, when I want to buy the food, do I live here with the US dollars or what? Or will I be able to pay via M-Pesa?
No, ati M-Pesa kazi yake inaisha hapa Kenya. But one thing I love about M-Pesa, you can still send money, pay bills and blah, 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 Kenyan bills on M-Pesa on your phone in the US.
Okay.
But if you want to pay for stuff in the US, I would encourage you to have a credit card. Or
about a
if you don't
debit
have I don't encourage people to use debit cards, because the point with debit cards, if somebody steals your card and they make a purchase, you cannot, like the bank is not liable.
Okay.
However, with a credit card, if somebody steals your credit card, for example, remember transactions don't go through immediately. They will make sure that they check it first and confirm. Like you can claim if something went wrong with a credit card. But also, if you don't have a credit card, you can buy a prepaid card and load it with dollars.
Where can I do that?
In
Is
any
it
bank,
too
if you
late?
go to any bank, the banks are closed. So that is something else. So hakuna haja ya kubeba pesa. In fact, the moment you start moving around with money, you look suspicious in the US. And then something else, most of the US cards, they do not use pins. It's just tap and go. But some, though, so if you find like a PDQ machine, uingize, because they want to know, they will think maybe you're just using your normal card. So just ask to put it into the
PDQ machine.
inside, because you can't just tap and go. But sometimes some PDQ machines will allow you to tap and go.
Okay.
Hey guys, we are one hour into the video. Let me read comments and then we end this. Emmanuel, hi, how is Scotland? Hi Lucy, hi Priscilla, thank you for joining. Michael, I'm well and fine. I'm not always online. Please, how can I reach you via calling? Please, regarding this. Hi, Michael Ndungu. You can reach me on my email address. It will be in the description box at the bottom of this video once I end the live. Eva Mtali, LII @gmail.com. Jacqueline, getting you loud and clear from Eldoret. I am so glad, Jackie. Hi, Justine. Evelyn, hi. How are you, namesake? Abby, hi. Doreen is manifesting international travel 2023. Amen. May it come from your mouth straight into God's ears. Salamu to Bangura. Please, ma'am, I need your number. Please. Sorry, I cannot share my number on the World Wide Web. That would be so in what? Yeah, it's dangerous, you know. Richmond. Good afternoon, madam. Please, I have master's degree in mathematics. What would be the right way to immigrate to Canada? Wow. Why don't you go and teach in the UK or teach in the US? I have actually shared a video, I think 2, how you can immigrate to the US as a teacher, and mathematics is one of the in-demand subjects. Even in the UK, I have shared, I think it's either a blog post or a video of how you can immigrate to the UK as a mathematics teacher. But I think you can also do data analytics. If I'm not wrong, you can immigrate through express entry. You have so many options. Hi, Monia King. James Gishui. Hi, Eva. James from Naivasha. How is Naivasha? Pamela, watching me from Kenya. Hi, thank you for coming. So guys, I don't know if you guys have any more questions. I think I have pretty much covered demystified international travel. And I'm looking forward to your experiences when you guys travel soon. So oops. Dora, it was a pleasure having you on the channel. Thank
Thanks
you
so much.
Yes. And guys, I will leave a description, the link to her channel in the description box below. Please go and say hello, watch the videos, tell them you came from Travel with Eva Mtali, and we will definitely see you on the next one. Eva, why do I keep calling her Eva? Dora, please, we want to see content, eh?
There are more contents there since the last time I posted.
No, we want to see fresh content
Okay.
from North America, yeah?
Okay. I'll
Yes.
start with JKIF.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Immediately I see that signage. Kwaheri, Kenya. I'll be posting.
Okay, guys, we're gonna log off for now. We will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.